speaker mode. I just woke up and rolled out of bed. But I love getting on with Ashley because she just really listens to our problems and really helps us lay it out there in a simple way and take action on our issues that we're having with nutrition. So I love hopping on with Saturday morning with her. It gets my mind fired up for the weekend and just helps me stay on track. She really wanted me to come on here today and just give you a simple meal plan. I'm a mom of 4 girls. I normally homeschool my kids, and I work from home, and I don't really have a lot of time in the kitchen. Or I am always feeding the kids, so I don't eat myself. So I tend to skip meals and survive off caffeine during the day, unless I have a plan in place and I have it already made. Then I will grab it and eat as I'm feeding the kids or eat as I'm teaching them or whatever, or sneak off and actually get to sit down to eat. But so I wanted to give you a simple entire week meal plan and how I do it, how I roll it out. I know there's so many healthy options out there, so I didn't want to give you too many options because then it's like you're at a buffet and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I have? And then you just get overwhelmed. So I wanted to show you how I grab my balls and I make a week meal plan ready to go, okay?
I was so excited for Kaylee to get on here and talk about her balls. So listen up and make sure you're taking notes, all right? And I'm telling you now, and sorry, Kaylee, I'm totally cutting you off.
No.
She's a rock star. So get your pen and paper and start taking notes. And Kaylee, thank you for keeping it super simple because you're right. When I get too much information, I get paralyzed. So I'm super excited about this. Go for it.
So after the call, if you're not already on Ashley's email list, make sure you get on the email list because after the call, she's going to email you a recording of this call along with the goodies I'm going to give her, which is the meal plan template. Here we go. This is great for the ultimate portion fix. It's great for the to-be mindset. It's great for your workout plan, counting your containers at the bottom. So I'm going to give that to her, and today I'm going to give you the completed one as well. I'm also going to give you the breakfast recipe I talk about and the lunch recipe I talk about. And additionally to that, just all the links to all that so you can find the recipes, have the grocery list and all that stuff. All right, so first things first, something that really works for me is on Friday, my family and I always look for a fun food, something we can be excited about to try next week. Friday is when I look for my recipe, I write up my meal plan. So yesterday, we found our fun food. Yay, we're excited about that. We're gonna make that this week. So then I find one thing for breakfast. And this week for breakfast, we're going to make these sweet potato egg casserole. Can you see that picture there? Now, I was like, when I saw it, I'm like, I don't know. But then I made it and I was like blown away. My entire family actually enjoyed it. So that's what we're going to make for breakfast this week. You cut it up, you can bag it up and put it into Ziploc baggies and then put it in your mom bin in the fridge so your kids don't steal your food. They can steal all the extras, but your 5 bars are your 5 bars. Stop share. Okay, so the sweet potato bars are going to be for breakfast. And then I just write that all across my calendar here. And then I write the ingredients down on a grocery list. So that has eggs in it. It has kale, or you can use spinach. It has sweet potatoes. So I don't even like dealing with the whole peeling thing. The recipe you're going to see has you like peeling a sweet potato and all that. I don't even take care of that. So I like to buy them frozen sweet potatoes. So much easier. They're already peeled and chopped up for you. I just throw these on an oven pan and I roast them and caramelize them so you can just smell the sweetness coming out of them. And once they're roasted, I mean, this takes no time at all, guys. You can just throw these in the oven and go do your normal whatever else you're going to take care of. And then once those are roasted, you basically just throw it all in a big pan in a big like lasagna dish and bake it. It's that simple.
Kaylee.
Yeah.
Do you roast those with oil, salt, pepper, and what do you put the oven at?
So I just roast them maybe with drizzling a little bit of olive oil on it. I roast it probably about 375 to 400. I like it to go pretty quick because I want to get cooking and I want to get out of the kitchen. But Yeah, it'll tell you in the recipe exactly how to cook the egg casserole thing. And I
Okay.
don't know if you saw in the picture, but she uses a liner in there because I hate even doing dishes. So the liner thing, you just pop it right out of the lasagna pan and then you slice it up. It's really simple. And then breakfast is done for the whole week. Um, Okay, so that's your breakfast. Then I have my workout, and then you always got to have your Shakeology in there. Shakeology is going to be that dense, nutritious meal for your day that is going to make meal planning so much simpler because you're going to get all those nutrients. You're not going to have all those extra cravings. You're going to be satisfied with the food that you're having. So you don't want to skip your Shakeology after your breakfast. So I have that as my AM snack all the way across my meal plan. Okay. And then lunch. Ooh, I have to get excited about lunch. Now, mind you, you're going to be eating this lunch every day for the week. I only make it about 4 jars because I like to go to Field Trip Friday with my kids and we go out to eat. So I have Chick-fil-A every single week and I don't feel guilty about that. I'll have a Chick-fil-A sandwich if I want to with that butter on it. Okay. I'm not going to feel guilty about that because 80% of my kitchen meals are completely healthy. So I don't feel bad. And then on Sunday, we go out to eat every day, food trucks, brewery, whatever. And I don't feel bad about that either because all through the week and on weekends, on Saturdays, because of Ashley's coffee talks, I'm on point. So I enjoy myself. I don't go overboard. I don't have like 10 beers and, eat whatever I want, but I have, a meal, a happy meal, I call it. Okay, so lunch, let me share my screen again here. Lunch is going to be a mango, chicken mango. Where are you, picture? It's taking its time. Oh, there it is. Okay, is a chicken mango salad. Can you see that picture on there? Yeah? Okay, so for the chicken mango salad, where's the other picture? Boop, 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 boop. 1, 2, 3. Come on. For the chicken mango salad, I love putting it in a jar, even with the dressing on, because it will last 4 to 5 days in a jar. So if I have an extra jar left over, I'll even eat that today on Saturday. But this one is another super simple recipe where, yes, you have to do a little chopping, but it takes really no time at all. So the base of it is going to be kale. Lots of kale because it's so hearty. It's the dressing just marinates on it, so it's even better on day 4 or 5. So you cut up a ton of kale, small, tiny, bite-sized pieces. Peppers, add a ton of veggies in there. So you're gonna add peppers because they're hearty too. They don't get soggy by the end of the week. So add whatever peppers you can find, red, orange, yellow if you want to. Get them in there, and then also cilantro. Tons of cilantro. Just add that in there depending on how you like it. I love it, so I add a ton in there. Then you're gonna get your carb because carbs give you that energy. So add a can of black beans to that. You're gonna rinse them before you throw them in there. You don't want them all soggy. Black beans and then mangoes. So normally, guys, I buy the already sliced mangoes at the grocery store that come in that little plastic container because I don't like peeling them, but I got mangoes upstairs from our organic veggie box, so I'm gonna have to peel them this week. But I mean, if you want to keep it super simple, get them already cut. It saves you time. And then you put all this stuff into a giant bowl. And I added grilled chicken last week. So I just had my husband grill it up. The fresher organic chicken, it just really makes a huge difference because it's just juicy and it just makes a huge difference to me in my jars. So this is a chicken mango salad in a jar and it's super yummy and I'm excited about it all week. And then by Thursday I'm like, okay, Chick-fil-A tomorrow, woohoo, and that's okay because I'm not going to eat it again. I'm going to try a whole new lunch recipe next week that's super simple.
Kaylee, do you add the chicken into the jar or do you wait? It
I
looks like
do.
a jar.
I add the chicken into the jar because after you have everything in the jar, then you're going to add the dressing, which
Okay.
is, again, super simple. It's just lemon juice. I can't find the stop share button. So, yeah. Um, I just add lemon juice, olive oil, and honey. And then I just shake it up in a ball jar and then I add it to the salad and then I put the lid on on the bowl and I just shake it all up. I give it to the kids and they just shake it all up. And then I put it into my jars. So I want to talk about the jars. This is a normal bowl jar, right? It's a small top. You can't really eat out of this. Like I can't even get my fist in there to get the peppers and that mango at the bottom. So that just stinks. You don't want to use normal jars. You want to use wide mouth ball jars. So this one, I can get my hand in there and I can get that last piece of mango I want to eat or that grilled chicken at the bottom. So I have a lot of sizes, but they're all going to be wide mouth jars because they're good for different things. Like you can make soups. Like that's another super simple recipe to make for the entire week. So this is a pint jar, wide mouth pint jar. This is a wide mouth quart jar. And this is like, what is this? 3 cups. So a lot of people ask me about containers. Yes, I'm thinking about containers as I make these meals. So like breakfast it's a sweet potato, so it's yellow. It's got the egg, so it's got red. It's got, if I need to get a green in there, I'll add a ton of spinach, so it's red, yellow, green. It also fits with the to be mindset because you got the carb in there and you got the protein, and then you got the FFCs in there. But this, it would be like a red. You got your green for your kale and your peppers. You got the mango for your purple for your fruit. And then you got the carb, the yellow, you got the black beans in there. So you basically got a full lunch for your breakfast and for your breakfast and your lunch. You got the full containers that you need in there. And if you need anything else, if you're trying to use up a blue or something, just add it into the salad. Avocados would be amazing to add on top after you dump it into a bowl or add on top of your jar. Cheese, maybe goat cheese. If you want to add a blue, you could add goat cheese onto the salad. So really just find your base recipe. And then if you need more containers, add something in there. Give it your flair to it. That's kind of what I do. I find recipes online with what I have in my house. And then I type in Beachbody at the end because then it'll bring up Beachbody recipes. And then I'll add in a container that I'm missing and I need to get in. But I like to use the To Be Mindset and the Ultimate Portion Fix because I want to make sure I'm getting a variety of foods that the Ultimate Portion Fix promotes all of my containers. And then I like the To Be Mindset bunnies that they use, the 4 concepts, because dinner is next. So we have our breakfast and lunch. Dinner is next. Dinner, I heard someone mention on here that they're sick of standing there cutting up veggies every single night and spending time in the kitchen. I hear you. And that is annoying. And I definitely don't do that. So right now in the season of life, we just make a protein and then we make a ton of veggies. So on this meal plan, and again, you're going to see this later, it says salmon, and then it says carrots and cabbage. And then it says chicken, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. And then it says panko crusted tofu, green beans, and broccoli. So it's always like a protein and then a ton of veggies. So I heard again, you said you cut up the veggies. So right now in the season of life, if you don't feel like cutting up veggies, grab a bag of the baby carrots. Just throw them on an oven pan, add some olive oil to it. You can throw on some garlic powder and just roast the crap out of them. If your kids aren't too keen with veggies, instead you can throw some olive oil on it, and then cinnamon. And then at the end, when you pull them out and you put them in a serving dish, drizzle some maple syrup on it. Get their taste buds liking veggies, and their taste buds will change. So slowly over time, you can take away that sugar, the maple syrup, the honey, whatever you put on it, and their taste buds will change and get used to just the garlic and olive oil. We've tried this with Brussels sprouts. My entire family hated Brussels sprouts. Now it's one of our, main things we have all the time. Sorry, Ashley. I know she can't have Brussels sprouts and loves them. But even with Brussels sprouts, we started it out with balsamic and maple syrup and even added some cane sugar on there and made them sweet. That's okay. Whatever you got to do to get their taste buds changing and liking veggies at first, do it and then slowly make the change. So every night, just load your plate with veggies. To Be Mindset says we don't need a carb at dinner because carbs give us energy. So I was always thinking like, oh my gosh, I need that potato. And I did at first, but then I realized I wasn't having enough veggies. I was used to having like this little fistful of Brussels sprouts or little fistful of broccoli. No, load that plate up with veggies. then you will not miss that potato. Then you will not miss that rice. Load it up and make the veggies so succulent you don't miss that stuff, because veggies keep you full, that fiber in the veggies. So you shouldn't desire a snack at 8 o'clock at night. If you are, then maybe you didn't have enough at dinner. The other thing on here is turkey. So we have turkey meat and then spaghetti. So instead of spaghetti, for me, I'll just make an entire bag of cauliflower rice. And I'll put olive oil on it and garlic on it. And then all the kids will have their edamame noodles or whatever. And then I'll just put the turkey and the spaghetti sauce on top of cauliflower rice. And it's yummy. I love it. And you can even add some cheese on there if you want to. Another dinner would be burgers. And then on the side, we do like green beans, turnip fries, zucchini. So load it up again. If you have to, buy the broccoli that's already cut. To save you time, it's already cut. Just wash it, throw it in the oven, olive oil and garlic. Add some cheese on it if you want to, but you don't have to spend the time in the kitchen cooking. You can just literally throw everything on an oven roasting pan, like even green beans. I throw those on an oven roasting pan. Brussels sprouts, I buy them already shredded. If they come whole, we'll just slice them in half. That's the extent of the cutting, and I'll get the kids involved. And then every night after dinner, I have 4 ounces of wine and 1 ounce of a yummy chocolate bar. And that's just like relaxing after I eat, and red wine helps with digestion. So, and I don't feel bad about that. I don't, maybe if I have a bottle, but no. Stop at 4 ounces, let it digest. So does that make it simple for you to make a weekly meal plan is one thing? Now, if you get this down where you have one thing and one thing for lunch and you're like, wow, I'm just really sick of that, you can be ambitious and make something else for breakfast. So you can do, 2 things if you're ambitious. I don't have that much time to spend in the kitchen, so I just make one and eat, and then I feel great. So that's up to you. If you don't think you can eat one thing, then spend more time in the kitchen and make 2. Any
Oh,
questions?
you're freaking awesome. Okay, so I love you. Okay, so we do have some questions. Do you recommend having Shakeology in the morning?
I recommend it only because I feel like it sets you up for your entire day. It sets you up for your entire day, meaning it gives you more energy because it has green tea extract in it. It also curbs those cravings. Like, it seriously does. That's just not something the bag says. Okay, I was like, no, it's not going to. I'm not even drinking it if I poop gold. And I was pooping gold, guys. It really curbs your cravings. What do you need that for your entire day? Or you will be snacking. I don't know about you, but I used to, every time I walk past the kitchen, I'd be grabbing something. I don't do that anymore because my body has the nutrients it needs for the day. So I definitely recommend drinking it during the day. I mean, lots of people drink it at night, and that's fine too. But I suggest in the morning. I also suggest working out in the morning because, again, that helps battle, everything throughout your day. The anxiety that keeps you less frustrated with your kids. It gives you freaking energy. So I'm a big promoter now of morning.
The other question, somebody asked about the salad dressing recipe, but you're going to give all the recipes of that, right? Yeah. So, okay, guys, if you look at the chat, I put my email address. Now, listen, this is important. Take my email address and create a contact in your contacts. Make it, Ashley. You can skip the phone number if you don't have my phone number. Add the email address so that it helps make sure that the emails don't go to spam. Then you can see the website there, Coffee Talk email list. It's a bit.ly website up there in the contacts. That's what you're going to use to get on the contact list for these coffee talks. Anybody on that list is going to get the recording to this and all of the meal plan that she gave us, the recipes, whatever she gives me, I'm going to put in that email list and send this out this morning, most likely, but give me 24 hours just in case. Other questions, guys. If you have the chat function up, throw some questions in there for Kaylee. In the meantime, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. How do you, okay, so you're taking these ball jars, you're making your salads for the week. Sometimes you don't have enough for the weekend because, well, A, they'd probably go bad, and B, you only made 4 or 5, right? So how are you keeping yourself on track over the weekends? Like, are you prepping food? Are you just throwing stuff together? Like, what are you doing?
So normally I always have a ball jar left. Like it depends. I'll make 4 or 5, maybe 3, depending on what the recipe makes. And I like to stuff my jars. So it depends on what's left to see what I have. But a lot of the time I will eat it and I'll still have something left over on Saturday and I'll finish it then as well. So that helps me stay on track. Also, I kind of do this like in a process. So Friday is when I make the meal plan. Saturday is when I'm writing up like the grocery list and putting it in Instacart. And then Sunday, Instacart is usually in normal life, delivering it right when I get home from church. So instead of just putting everything away in the fridge, I'm just going to meal prep really fast as I put it away. So, it's hitting 2 birds at one stone kind of thing. Like, that's a horrible saying.
I actually, I've been saying skin a cat. Like, there's more ways to skin a cat, and I was like, I need to stop saying that.
Oh my goodness. So
So you usually use Instacart. You actually are the one who turned me on to Instacart and ordering my food online, which lately I have not been doing, but that's because of
yeah, me neither.
brand. Yeah, but but that is a great tip. I love that because go ahead, you can explain real quick because I was like, but sometimes it's more expensive if you order it online.
Yeah, so I felt that way too. Again, I was very skeptical of that. We're on a limited budget, but I felt like once I put this detailed grocery list in, I wasn't wasting food. And I wasn't, maybe I'll waste a jar sometimes or whatever if we extra go out to eat or whatever, but I wasn't wasting food like I normally would. Food wasn't rotting in the fridge anymore. And the list was so specific that I wouldn't grab extra things on the shelves, so, and that usually would make my grocery budget go higher. My grocery budget for a week is $125. So normally if I went grocery shopping, I would spend like 175, 200, because I was grabbing extra things I didn't really need. So when I do Instacart, I'm still on budget and getting the things I actually need on my meal plan, if that makes any sense.
Awesome. We have another question on here. Oh, you know what? Before we go to that, one other thing Kaylee said to me, she goes, I said, well, I like going to the grocery shopping because I want to get away from the family and the kids. And she suggested, dude, Ashley, if you do this online, then you free up that time. You can still take that time and go do something else, like get your nails done or go read a book under a tree somewhere, like do something that you really wanted to do versus going to the grocery store. I love that idea. Do you meal plan around what you get from the produce box? This is a really good question because I stopped doing a CSA because things were going bad and I was getting really annoyed at, so anyway, go for it.
Yes, absolutely. So my grocery box comes on Thursdays, and Friday again is when I do the meal planning. So I have mangoes in there. So I just kind of type in kale, mangoes. The protein I have extra for this week is going to be chicken, or I just kind of type in the ingredients that I have. And then I always type in Beachbody because Beachbody has amazing recipes that are going to go along with my nutrition. So I type that in and tons of recipes come up, and I just kind of go through it and see what will be jarable. And I kind of take things out. Like if it has cheese in the recipe, I take it out because I can't have cheese or whatever. And I kind of just throw in more of something else I need, more veggies or something. And I just kind of see what happens with that.
I love it. So another tip I'm going to ask you to share when it comes to being jarable, there were some things that you shared with us in the past, like, okay, let's say you have lettuce that's not hardy, like kale, and you want to put that in there. Do you omit it? Do you do this? Like, how do you stack your food? How do you make sure that it stays good in a ball jar and doesn't get soggy? Like, what are some tips that you use or do with ball jars to make sure that your food is staying delicious? Because I know Kaylee wants food to be amazingly good.
Fresh, yes.
Yeah, so go for it.
These ball jars will keep it fresher longer. I mean, it's it's amazing. I had like flax granola and blueberries in here once, and I had them in my fridge, and then I got my like tooth done, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't have that flax granola. It was in my fridge for seriously like a month and a half, and I pulled it out, and the blueberries were still like edible. I was like, oh my goodness, here baby, here you go. And I gave them to my kids because like they were still good. They keep them fresher longer. I don't know the science behind it. I'm just a mom and I just like to eat food, but it definitely stays fresher longer when you use a ball jar. You can't use the little Tupperware containers or anything like that. It has to be a fresh ball jar with a tight lid on top. So I definitely don't put dressing in here unless it's kale. I don't put it with the salad or anything like that. I always put my dressing in the side. I'll make dressing in a ball jar, shake it up, and just keep this in the fridge. And then I'll put the dressing on it after and then put the lid on and shake it up and then eat a salad out of it that way. Salads I get really bored with by midweek. So it's kind of rare that I'm making a salad unless it has a new dressing or a new ingredient in it that I'm excited about. I feel like you have to be excited about it, like that it's new, in order to do it for the whole week long, you know? And if you can't find an exciting recipe, go on the Beachbody blog or watch the 2 cooking shows on Beachbody On Demand. I don't know about you, but Alana just came out with the Mindset Menu. Oh my goodness, I haven't even watched it yet. I'm so excited about it. And then the Fixate Cooking Show. I'm telling you, I just put my kids in front of the TV and I turn this on. I say, okay, you always complain about what we're eating, so pick something from here. And then they actually watch it. They go through and they pick something on there. But that has so many ideas that makes me excited about what to eat.
Oh my God, I love you. Okay, so one other thing about the ball jars, do you wash your like how do you do this to make sure it's, say, let's use the blueberries, for example. You're using blueberries, you're going to put them in a ball jar. You buy them, you bring them home. Are you rinsing them off and washing them and then like making sure they're super dry before you put them in there? Or, and be honest, or do you just throw them?
No, I wash them in the container because the container has holes. I throw it on top of a towel, like a dish towel, because we don't have paper towels or anything. So I just throw it on top of a paper towel or a dish towel. And then I go and do other things and I'm getting ready, or maybe I'll pour the flax in the jar or whatever. But that'll be the air drying part. Roll it around on the towel and then throw it in basically. Same with the kale. I'll wash the kale, throw it on a big giant dish towel and then just dab it with that dish towel. But then I'll just throw it in the bowl because you're going to put dressing on it anyway. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, great. And then I don't think I have any other questions on here.
Bins.
Oh
bins
yeah.
are bins are also super good to keep in your fridge. But I have them like mom's bin, dad bin, kids bin. So when the kids want a freaking snack, which they do like every minute of the day, they can just go in the fridge and grab something from their bin. Like that's your snacks. That's it. Period. And I also, this is your breakfast for the week. Period. So if you want other breakfast, like then tough, you know, this is what you helped me pick for you this week and this is what it is. Otherwise you wait until lunch. So and then like of course by the end of the week they're sick of it, but then I'm like, okay, great, let's pick something else new that you can be excited about. But they have a bin with their stuff in and they know where to go and where to grab it, so I'm not, you know, annoyed completely by their making them food all day.
Do you make your kids a separate lunch?
I do. And I do the same concept though. It's one thing for lunch for the whole week, like that giant chicken pot pie in a tray, or, you know, one thing for breakfast that week, whether it's like banana nut muffins and a fruit, you know, but I keep the same concept, one thing that's simple. And I guess that's why I don't make 2 things for me, because I'm already making something for them.
Yeah. You gave us a talk, same concept, a couple months ago, and I have had on my to-do list now for 6 months to buy bins for my fridge and make sure that I'm separating the kids' foods from mine. I haven't done it yet, but here is a great motivation to do it again. Every time you talk, I get like super motivated, and I pick one or two things that you said and I incorporate it. So we're gonna need you to be back on here in another 6 months so I can do it again. Guys, do you have any other questions? Amanda said, yes, being excited about your food is so important. Colleen says, these are such great ideas for planning. Kaylee, I just really respect you and appreciate you coming on here and sharing. I think you give so many great tips that are just real life but organized, and they're not hard to do, guys. It's going to take the initiative to do it. And thank you for bringing up and you look gorgeous. Stop playing with your hair. Thank you
I'm
for
just like it's backwards, so I'm like, how do I get that one piece?
Thank you for bringing up the mentorship. What is it called? What's the new cooking show called?
Mindset Menu.
Mindset Menu. So now we have 2 cooking shows, and she's right about like bringing your kids in front of the TV and being like, here, pick something, because they love the cooking shows. If I give them like, just a website, it's not going to work. But if you put it up on your TV, they're going to watch them and they're going to show you which ones they want. So definitely take advantage of that. And thank you so much again. I really appreciate you hopping on here. Guys, she cares so much about you. Last night, she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I don't know. And so she's like, I got you, because she knew I was like kind of super stressed. Anyway, so awesome, love it. Amanda, thanks for your cat's butt on here. What an awesome day. I'm so excited for everybody in Pennsylvania because it's going to be gorgeous outside. Get outside, do your meal plans, have fun, and everybody give a big thank you to Kaylee. And I always forget to do this. If you are on the call and you're muted, like your picture is muted, unmute yourself. We're getting a picture, guys. We're getting a picture. I'm so bad at this normally. Hey, if you're hiding, unhide yourself. Unhide yourself for me. Oh, I love it.
Heather, Marla, where are you guys? Jess?
Amy, I see you on there. I know you're there. Yeah, she's there.
I don't know how to unhide me.
Unhide yourselves. Find that little
Marla
button that has like a camera. There we go. We got 2 more. Heather and Marla. Can you do it for us?
Look at that cake. Is that cake?
Hey!
Yes! We're spray painting a cake. Awesome! We're all here. All right, you ready?
Oh.
Give me a pose. 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
I think I got a ton, so.
I love it.
Thank you guys for getting on here. We will see you on next Saturday. And if you're, I think we said Melanie, stick around. And Kaylee, do you have a couple minutes? Can you stick around or no?